Good morning, guys. This is me, Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, USA, on the highway going to Kingsland, Texas, near my home base. It is 9:08 a.m., January the 21st, 2000 and... You thought I was going to get it wrong, didn't you? 2017. I get it wrong every now and then. I usually get the century right, though. I mean, I'm in the 2000s anyway. Rarely do I say 19 anything. So having said all that, it's 53 top up degrees. Kind of cool out. But it's going to warm up to 76 today. And tomorrow I'll be right at near 70, and then next week we're back in the mid 70s again. So the weather in Central Texas is better than any place I went camping, nearly. That is a bona fide fact. But having returned from my little 10-day journey or so, I covered 2,400 miles approximately. Actually, it was 2,460 miles, and the last 60 miles came at the very end of the trip. Work on that one. Having said that, I am reflecting on the topic for the day. What is it? Usually it's not very exciting, but today, anyway, I was looking at the comments this morning, and of course there's a lot of comments about Quartzsite and other things. And so I thought, well, okay, let's just reflect on the trip to Quartzsite, Arizona, the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous 2017, and other things as it comes into my 71-year-old brain. Which reminds me, I'll get my advertisement in. I full-time RV and I go camping in a car, a Toyota Prius. For those of you that have an interest in either of those, RVing or car camping, check out my playlist on my homepage. There's a lot of tips there that will help you, I hope. Yeah, just go to my channel homepage, Rusty 78609, and click on playlists and pick the one you want. So, now let's go all the way back to Quartzsite. Quartzsite, first of all, as you come into Quartzsite from any direction, well, on I-10, Quartzsite is on both sides of I-10, okay? The I-10 splits it right down the middle. And on both sides, there's a lot of vendor tents and all kind of stuff to buy, a lot of beads, a lot of rocks, all that kind of stuff. And pretty interesting. And it can be a little dusty. The weather for me was not that great. It was in the 50s for highs and low 40s, upper 30s for low 40s mainly for lows, which for me is a little cool because it never quite warmed up, you know what I mean? So, and the roads for a car are difficult, okay? The roads to go to the campsites are difficult. They are bumpy, rough, dusty, etc. I cleaned up my Prius when I got back. I feel much better. Anyway, and as far as the RTR, you know, I did a walk-through, a drive-through, and then I went there 4 times and walked around, talked to a number of different people, and they are all different. I have to tell you that there is no homogeneous personality. They are all doing their individual thing in their individual vehicle type, whatever that is. Seemed like mostly there were vans of all types. There was one guy in a horse trailer. There were some people in tents. There were people in Class C's, Class A's, Class B's. I was in a Class P for Prius. And, you know, the thing that I didn't really focus on in my mind while I was walking through there, and probably should have, is the fact that these people aren't camping. Okay, these people are living every day of their life in a van or whatever, every day, every waking hour, you can't stand up straight in most vans. You cannot stand up straight in a car, okay? Now in a horse trailer you might, Class C, A, and all that stuff, you can. But in a van, which that was mostly the population, most of the population there, you can't stand up, folks. And everything is a little extra effort. I mean, even when I'm camping in my Prius, you know, taking a shower is a little extra effort. You know, crawling in and out of bed is a little extra effort because you got to roll into my Prius bed and roll out of my Prius bed. And the poo-poo is a bucket with a bag, and you know, you got to dispose of it and all that kind of stuff. So everything requires extra effort as compared to a brick and mortar home, or even my travel trailer at my home base in Central Texas. I mean, when I got back to my travel trailer, I thought I was in luxury. I got a shower, a flush toilet that I almost forgot how to use. I had to read the instructions, and I thought, what a miracle. You know, look what was created while I was gone. Yeah, and having hot water and stuff is pretty damn nice. You know what I mean? And a comfortable bed, a place you can stand up and walk around in when it's raining. And, you know, whenever you're living in a van or those other small vehicles out there, I got to tell you, that's every day of the year, folks. I mean, you don't go to your home base, okay? For you new guys, this is Kingsland, Texas. This is Highway 1431. It's in Central Texas on the Highland Lakes. An unincorporated little township. But now back to Quartzsite and living in a van. You know, living in a van, you know, when you're sitting down, maybe reading a book and so forth, probably pretty nice, but you know, you got to stand up to take a shower, or, you know, some kind of bath or whatever you do, and, you know, put your clothes on and stuff, and, you know, all of that takes extra effort. It's not a house. It ain't. And, you know, you get most of them have, not most, a lot of them have solar for their power source, and, you know, you got to know a little bit about solar to do that right. The biggest expense most of them have is gasoline, at least that's what I was told. The other expense is camping, and whenever they can find a free campsite, they take advantage of it. That's why they love Quartzsite, because they camp there for free. And, you know, I think that's great. You know, there was no general personality type. You know, some of the people were clean cut, others were, you know, looked like what you know, when you're on the road, you know, you're not shaving or, you know, doing your hygiene regularly. You know, you take on a certain appearance, and some of them had that, others didn't. But again, it was a group of people that live in their vehicles. That's very different from me in my Prius going camping for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month, or whatever, and then coming back home for a month or 2 or 3, and then going again whenever I please. You know what I mean? That's a totally different lifestyle, totally different, and it requires a different a different mindset. And anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up on that for you guys that, you know, that are thinking about going full time or living in a van or some other thing you're going to make. Just bear in mind that that's going to be every day. And then if you decided to drop back in or out, whatever you want to call it, let's just say you decided to go from a van living lifestyle to a brick and mortar or apartment living lifestyle, you know, you're going to have to come up with some cash, okay? It's going to be, you're going to have to come up with a few $1,000s to get back in the game again. And, you know, how you're going to do that on the road, you know, if you're a techie and you're doing graphics or whatever for websites or website designs or whatever you do, you know, you might be able to just slip in and out of the picture real easily. But for the bulk of those people out there that are retired or my age, and, you know, say between 55 and 70, you know, that's going to be a pretty difficult move if they chose to do it. Most of them will not choose to do that. They will stay with the van life till they aren't here anymore. And that brings up a question. You know, if your domicile, which is your mailing address basically, is out of South Dakota, which a lot of them use that address for some reason. There's some mail forwarding places out of California and all that kind of crap. But if you die in Quartzsite, Arizona, what happens? Does your family, if you have any, make arrangements and have the body shipped? Or what happens? I mean, you know, that's just a question. Or if you have a heart attack prematurely, die young, whatever. Anyway, but in reflecting on the whole picture, the big picture of the Quartzsite camping area, for me, there's a lot I didn't like. Okay, one, the roads are rough for a car. Okay, now other people that have four-wheel drives and other vehicles, they don't even notice it. Okay, but for me in a Prius, I noticed it. The dust. You know, every road is a dirt road off the main road, so you run into a lot of dust. You know, as to the crowds, there were a hell of a lot of people there, folks. I don't know how many RVs were in that whole area around Quartzsite, but it had to be in the 100,000s. Okay, I'm telling you, it's packed. So, I'll turn it into the sun now, so the screen will probably go black. But for those of you that want to go, a lot of people go to Quartzsite in the winter, obviously, because it's cheap camping and the climate is most of the time pretty good. As compared to where I live in Central Texas, I don't think it's as good, okay, in the winter. The downside is in Central Texas, you're not going to find any free camping. Nope. The cheapest you're going to find is probably a state park, and that's going to cost you $15 a night for 2 weeks max. Florida, I don't know about. You know, some of the other coastal states, I don't know about. Maybe they have places you can camp, but not too many states east of the Mississippi have any government land. Most of the government land is west of the Mississippi. Most of it's in Arizona, New Mexico, a little in Colorado, some in Utah, Nevada, up on into Oregon, Washington State. But, you know, those people they live in those things, man. I'm telling you, that's no joke. And you see old Bob Wells getting up there talking. He's talking from experience because he's lived in a van that he can't stand up in for years, you know. Or as far as I know, I mean, they told me I was standing next to his van a few times. If it was his van, he can't stand up in it. But that's all right. That's, you know, that's a choice. That's a personal choice. None of my damn business. You know, could I do it? If I had to, I could. Yeah. I mean, if I had to, I could live in this Prius. If I had to. Do I want to? Not really. I don't mind going camping in it. But living in a vehicle is, you better check it out before you do it. That's all I can tell you. I guarantee you, you do not want to jump into that as a lifestyle without having tried it for at least a month or two. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you're not going to have any stuff, and that's not bad. But if you decided to go back the other way, then all that stuff that you got rid of, you just have to reacquire or something along those lines. But anyway, as a side note, I got to tell you this. I think I may have mentioned it some time ago. This is a totally different topic. I'm just rambling here. I'm going to the bank to make a deposit. I got a check yesterday from Weather Group Television. Okay? That's the Weather Channel. And what it was, I did a video one time a few months ago on a Texas blue norther. I just happened to be overlooking Lake LBJ when a Texas blue norther started to blow in, and I did a video of that event. And the Weather Channel somehow is checking all the YouTube videos, looking for stuff they might be able to use for a nominal fee and or free. You know, they don't offer to pay you. They just tell you they'd like to use your video, and it's up to you to negotiate some money out of them. But anyway, they paid me a little bit, which is fine. But that's just another source of revenue. But be that as it may, also, speaking of revenue, you people that have supported this channel, I do appreciate it. I really do. And, you know, the fan funding, which is the same thing, supports the channel. I do appreciate it. And, you know, those nickels and dimes add up. And I do use it. I use it to go camping. It helps pay for the camping trips because I don't go camping. A camping trip like the one I just went on, 2,400 miles. I averaged 50 miles a gallon. My gasoline at 220 or 15 a gallon, whatever it was, rounds out at about $100 for the entire trip. That's 2,460 miles. I did this 60 miles the last part of the trip. Anyway, as far as the camping fees, I paid $15 a night at Balmoral, and I just spent one night there. 2 nights at the county park in Tucson, Arizona at $7.50 a night, $15, so we're all the way up to $30. Where else did I pay a fee? Rockhound State Park was 10. That's another 20. So that's $50, and that's all I paid. That's all the camping fees I paid. At Quartzsite, it was every night I was there was no charge. So the whole trip, gasoline and camping, was $150. And then, of course, I got me a pizza at Silly Al's, and I got me a chili dog at the Colossal Mountain Cave County Park. A medium pizza at Silly Al's in Quartzsite is round numbers $20 for a medium. Was it good? It was all right. It's not as good as Long Draw Pizza out near Terlingua, Texas, in Big Bend. Long Draw Pizza near Big Bend, Texas, out in the middle of nowhere, has the best pizza I've ever eaten. And that old gal that runs it, she's been there for years. You can go in there and get beer and pizza. That's it. Just a little old building, probably seat 40, maybe, or less. Remember that. If you ever get out in West Texas, check out Long Draw Pizza. You'll like it. Where am I at right now? This is, I call it River Drive. It parallels the Llano River here in Kingsland, Texas. And it's a crazy thing. The difference in property taxes between the people that are on the river and these people on the left that are off the river is about 50% difference. It's significant. Riverfront property is high dollar and it's taxed accordingly. What's this guy going to do? Set up a roadblock? Yep. God damn. Well, he probably a retired police officer. You know, he never got it out of his system. Anyway, guys, this is old Rusty in Central Texas. Right now it's 9:26 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it's still 2017. I got a comment about that. You guys got to know I'm going to screw up, okay? Just know it in advance. I'm 71 years old. My words don't come out right sometimes, and for sure, the days, dates, time are probably going to be misrepresented a few times. I guarantee you. But anyway, having said that, I'm on the way to deposit this check in my bank account, and I'll be wealthy. That paid for my trip and a little change, which is good. And you know, the channel support just tickles me to death. I appreciate the hell out of that. I do. And having said that, guys, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, Buy USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water. Take deep breaths. Walk for exercise. Stretch. Keep your health. Keep your health. And if you eat good. Don't eat out a lot if you can avoid it. Don't do it, because that's unhealthy as hell and it costs a lot of money. But if you keep your health, then you can go to Quartzsite and you can wait for your Elio to come in, and you can enjoy these wonderful viral videos that I produce on a daily basis. See what I mean? So, having said all that, guys, adios from Central Texas. This is Rusty 78609. Bye-bye.